I'm Dr. Cindy Davis Evans with The Cindy Davis Show. My guest today is a friend of the show. She has performed with some of the biggest music legends in the music field, including Barbra Streisand and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Here to catch up with what she's been up to now, welcome back to the show, my friend, the multi-talented Miss Lettrice Lawrence. Hey, Lettrice. Hi, how are you? Welcome back to the show. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Oh,
Nice to be here.
yeah, it's good to have you. Good to have you. What have you been up to? You've been up to a lot since the last time you were here.
Well, yes, I've been busy. I've been
You
busy.
have. You know
Um,
what? You how do you stay? How do you focus and how do you balance your career, your multifaceted career and your family life?
oh, that's very interesting. Well, I know that I had a really busy life with my husband, and we'd been dealing with his grandfather that was sick, and we've been dealing with my dad and mom, his
Oh.
grandmother, and they've all
Mhm.
gone to be with God. And so it was hard, But the last time when my mom got sick, I was able to get hospice involved, a really good
Mhm.
Christian hospice. And they
Mhm.
helped me and my brother and sister-in-law with my mom. I was able to get a nurse to help with my grandfather-in-law. And
Mhm.
it's just I think this is a time in our lives when we have loss, whether it be parents, grandparents,
Mhm.
people at church, our friends that we've grown up with, family, and we associates, the people we work with. And I'm losing a lot of my music friends too.
Oh
And so
no.
this is a time that is hard because it's the age, I believe, that we all are at. When you
Yeah.
50s, 60s, you start really losing people. And the thing is, it's a reality
Yeah.
and it's hard. I know that Aretha Franklin and especially Patti LaBelle, she lost her sisters to
Yeah.
cancer, and so it back to back. And sometimes it kind of happens like that. So I
Mhm.
mean, in the midst of the music career, I have those sorts of things going on. So it,
Wow.
it can be testing. It can
Yeah,
be
yeah.
really hard.
How do you overcome that? How do you keep going? I mean, because you've been releasing music. We got some upcoming things that we're going to talk about.
Mhm.
How do you keep going?
God, if it
Yeah.
wasn't for my relationship with the Lord, I would not have gotten past all these things in the natural that are going on
Mm.
around me and in my life. And then in the middle of my mom, us moving her out of her home that she was in for 56 years to a nicer home,
Yeah.
I got into a car accident. And it was crazy because I was just about to go to New York to perform. I mean, I was going to go to
What?
Vegas to perform.
Oh my God.
And I had to shut some things down and
Wow.
reschedule them because I was really struggling to walk for 4 months, and I was getting epidurals in my back.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank God that I can walk.
Amen.
I can't walk all the way like I did before yet, but
Mm-hmm.
it's been 3 years and it was severe. I didn't realize he'd hit me so hard, but he did. And so I was told not to talk about it for a long time. But
Yeah.
since I'm near the end of it, I'm going to share that I had 7 places in my neck that was affected. He pushed
Wow.
the middle of my back forward, the middle of my spine, and he messed up my right. He messed up my L5 and my L4, and I've been getting injections in my back and my spine. They've been putting me to sleep to do it since 2021, and I have one tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, it's incredible. In the middle of it, one of my best friends is being memorialized on Thursday, and
Oh
I
my
I
God.
had to just call the funeral home in Virginia
Mm-hmm.
to ask him when they were going to put the information up so I could post the the service that's going to be online.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
That
It's a lot.
is. That is a
Mm-hmm.
lot you have been
Yeah.
going through, and God has been your strength. I hope that
Yes,
helps somebody to know that even though you're
yes,
going through the storms, God will see you out on the other side. You just have to trust Him.
yes. And my
Amen.
music is that when I sing, I forget about the pain, I forget about
Oh.
everything that's going on. And I just know that that's how God soothes me. And that's his grace.
That's your therapy. Your music is your
Yeah.
therapy.
My music is my therapy,
Yeah.
and my friends and my loved ones and Andre. And I have to say that I feel really grateful for him because, he's not just a CEO of Enthroned and he's not just over these wonderful honors. He's
Yeah.
my family. He's my friend. And he's been through similar things with taking care of his grandmother, mother, and father.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not an easy road. And it's not an
Yeah.
easy road to see your friends falling, to the wayside either. He's had a lot of friends in the industry past, Mary Wilson and
Yeah.
and then a whole bunch of different people. The lady that played on she played on what was it, that funny movie? She played on that funny cop movie. I forgot her name. She had a real high pitched voice.
Oh,
She was a really good friend of his. They were
wow.
like really close. And so
Wow.
he's lost some people too.
Yeah.
And partly to COVID too.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah.
How did you and Andre meet? Tell us again how y'all met.
Oh, it was so cool how we met. We met at this young lady that we know was having a show, and we were going to be singing backgrounds for her at this KJLH what is it, fireworks celebration. Her name
Mm-hmm.
is Ariella Blue, and we sung backgrounds for her. And Andre had a really good relationship, with Greg Johnson, who used to
Yeah.
be with KJLH, and we sang backgrounds for her. And then I had been dealing with some things and I've been having shows and things were happening. And he said, you know what? We're going to take your career to another level. And
Wow.
it's time. It's
Yeah.
time for your career to go to another level. And he
Yeah.
stepped in and he started working with Greg Johnson. I started doing KJLH brunches and I started doing these different shows and so forth.
Yeah.
And, the funny thing is that I was losing my dad while this was
Mm.
going on.
Oh.
And I myself had cancer, ovarian cancer.
Oh
And he just
no.
kept saying, Lettrice, just
Oh.
get on the stage and just feel God's grace and just
Yeah.
think of his grace and your singing will take you away. And it did. I
Wow.
was in the studio recording.
Uh-huh.
I was performing at church. I was performing everywhere at gigs and
Uh-huh.
doing celebrity gigs. And you would never have known that I had dealt with all my hair coming out, none of that stuff. My my beautician, she cut all my hair off, then it was throwing little pieces in here and there. It was interesting. Nobody would have known. It
Wow.
was really funny. Nobody would have ever known because I was macked out and I was ready. And people were like, did you cut your hair off like that on purpose? And so
Mhm.
for a long time, I would wear my hair shaved on one side and this thing and this thing. But I got better,
Yeah.
went into full remission.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
had become vegan and I
Mm.
had done all these things herbally. And I refused to do the intravenous chemo
Mm.
because of my immune system being so weak at the
Yeah.
time. And so I
Okay.
had done the pills, and the pills made me extremely sick.
Yeah.
And I was bleeding. I just wouldn't stop bleeding. I think that's what scared my husband is I would not stop bleeding. That
Yeah.
kind of stuff is so scary when you have
Uh,
ovarian and cancer and it spreads. It spread it to my walls. And
Jesus.
I kept praying and I kept singing. All I can tell you is I kept singing and praying. I looked up and it was gone. No cancer cells at all. No
Hallelujah.
cancer
What
cells.
a testimony. That
And
is wonderful.
yes, and I had refused the intravenous, and it was set up and everything. Everything was set up, paid for. And I called that Monday and I said, I'm not coming to do it. And
Yeah.
they were like, what? My
Yeah.
husband called at the same time and was like, don't go. He was
Yeah.
like, if you go, something's going to happen. He told me, he said, something's going to happen if you
Mm.
go. And so
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'm not going to go. So I
Yeah.
didn't do it. And I'm so grateful that God was speaking to him and me.
Yeah.
It was
You
God. And my
praise your
doctor,
way through.
yeah. So
You
I just want to say that no
wow.
matter who you lose in life, when you're close,
Yeah.
no matter what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you have to sing a praise song. Get in another room by yourself and just start singing praise songs. Break
Yeah.
every chain.
Mm-hmm.
And I need you to survive. Just start singing praise songs to your spirit
Yeah.
so
Wow.
that you can break through disease,
Yeah.
diagnoses,
Mm-hmm.
and you can break through pain
Wow.
because loss is painful. So
Yeah.
this might be for you too, sis. I'm
Yes.
sorry
Yeah.
because this is not.
Absolutely.
I know for a fact because that's what's been keeping me all this time
Yeah.
is, and I've now almost 10 years cancer free.
Hallelujah. Thank you,
August.
Jesus. What
So
a
I praise
blessing.
God for that.
All of
Praise
that
God.
has kind of, well, do you think all of that kind of led you to where you are now? You were with, now you're with Enthroned Records, been with them. How long have you been with Enthroned Records, by the way?
Woo, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. And
we
so
started we
now,
started working together 2000, I believe it was 2014.
uh-huh.
We met 2013. We started working together 2014.
Oh,
He
okay.
officially started working with me and my music specifically 2015.
Mm-hmm.
As I was working, um, I was working on some things. I think we did 2017 was Congratulations.
Uh-huh.
We came out with Congratulations.
Yeah.
And then, it was a celebratory thing. It was more of a thing of honor for
Mm.
missing Vesta Williams.
Yeah.
And then I want to thank you.
Yeah.
And then I went on we started working on some things for his deal that he had with Climax Corporation.
Yeah.
And that was when we was with the compilation
Mm-hmm.
um, album. And so that was a very interesting experience because I got to do put Lonely and
Mhm.
Moonlight Chaser on that album.
Yeah.
And then, um, and then we had another young lady, uh, Miss Angelini,
Mm.
Stephanie, she did Cause of You. And Climax actually had some things on there. Love Me and a couple of nice cuts. And Puente, what is his name? Uh, his name is Puente. His last name is Puente. It's Junior. He's a junior. His
Mhm.
father was famous, and
Yeah.
now he's doing music. And it's amazing the stuff that he does. So he was on there as well with the song. So we had some talented people on
Wow.
there, and
Yeah.
it was really good. Tito Puente Jr. That's what his name is, Tito Puente Jr. And
Uh-huh.
so a wonderful thing is that we had Climax involved. I love
Yeah.
Cheryl Cooley. Cheryl Cooley's
Sweet.
wonderful. And so we were really excited because we got to do this album called Raindrops Loves Holidays,
Mhm.
volume two. And
Mhm.
so iHeart loved my song Moonlight Chaser. So I
Yeah.
got a
Nice.
BA, what is it? And it was all during the pandemic. The crazy part is we were submitting the music to Universal Music Group, the
Mhm.
one that's in Santa Monica. And the weird thing is that we were getting all these notices that everything was going to shut down. And this
Yeah.
was March of 2020. So I
Ah.
think it was March the 12th. And we
Mm.
had a couple of days to get our stuff in, and it
Yeah.
was going to be the cutoff date. And
Yeah.
so we were rushing to get the pictures. We was rushing to do everything. And we got it in.
You got it
We
done.
were able to get people to listen to our music
Uh-huh.
while we were in the lockdown. And I
Wow.
did shows online, and it was
Wow.
great. It was scary because of what we were going through. But I was
Absolutely.
able to sing and encourage people and do shows from my home.
Well,
And I
you.
created my own little stage and the
Uh-huh.
dining room and got equipment and got my equipment up to par. And
Yeah.
it was great. I had to learn how
That's-
to do lighting and I
Yeah.
had to learn how to do videoing. I had
Yeah.
to learn to do videography, edit
Yeah.
my own things,
Yeah.
do my own
Sweet.
photography.
Oh my goodness. It's amazing how all that is leading you someplace. And one of those places when you got um awarded with a Enthroned Records Hall of Fame.
Oh, yes, it was. Because the great
That's a
part,
blessing.
yeah, because we started coming out of the pandemic a little more. It was
Uh-huh.
around my 50th birthday, which was interesting. It was my birthday
Oh.
present. The song was
Uh-huh.
released in the UK May the 22nd,
Uh-huh.
2000, I believe it was 2021. And
Yeah,
it
what
was
an
so
honor.
exciting. So exciting. I was so excited about it. And
Yeah.
so I celebrated my 50th with some of the most wonderful singers, Kedjo Johnson,
You did?
Nitani,
Wow.
um, Alexandra. I was able to celebrate with her, and
Uh-huh.
I was able to celebrate with my cousin.
Yeah.
My cousin is from DRS. I don't know if you knew
Wow.
that, and that's
No.
Lamar Lubin.
Uh-huh.
Lamar Deuce Lubin. He's from DRS, so he was there as well, and he performed at my home as well. So what we
Mm-hmm.
did was we had a little 50th party, and
Yeah.
I introduced Taking It Back for the first time to
Yeah.
my audience. So
Wow.
it was absolutely just wonderful. I was able to share the song for the first time live with
Yeah.
them. And, it was great. Everybody was just like, oh my God, I love this song. So
It's a
the song was
lovely,
the song
lovely
was
song.
received very well.
Yes.
And the sales were very good too. And even now, the sales are even though people love my new song, the
Mm-hmm.
sales for Taking It Back, the downloads for Taking It Back is incredible.
Wow. I think people are in that mode, where they are just, they ready to take it back. You know what I'm saying? Take
Yes,
back the
yes,
joy, take back
yes.
everything that the enemy has stolen from you. I think people kind of they could resonate with that song.
And that's
It
what the
resonated
song
with
is
them.
about. The song is about taking back what we lost during the
Mhm.
pandemic,
Yeah.
taking back the power we had, because even though we were in the lockdown, physically, we were in the lockdown spiritually too, because cops were brutalizing
Yeah.
a lot of African Americans and they were brutalizing a lot of Latino people.
Uh,
And they shot and killed a young man, and he was only 18. And
yeah.
he was
Wow. I know.
providing for his whole family, his mother and everyone. And he was about to go to college. And he
Hmm.
was actually a security guard on this property. They thought he was reaching for a gun, and he wasn't. He
I
had a
heard about
gun.
that. That is,
Yeah, he had a gun because that's what he had to do to be the security guard. But he was
yeah.
trying to explain that to them, and they thought he was being confrontational. And
Your sound is out. I can't hear you. Oh, I think you hit your microphone. Okay, there you are. Maybe not.
I'm sorry about
Okay,
that. Is
there
that
you go.
better?
Okay,
Okay.
I can
And
hear you.
so, and so the thing about it that I'm so grateful about is
Wow.
that people learn about these things because they have body cams and they've been learning
Yes.
about the ugly thing they've been trying to hide for so
Hide all
long.
this time. Yeah, they've been trying to
And
hide
yeah,
it. That's right. But you
and I
can't
think
hide
the
it
thing that
anymore.
really got me was George Floyd when he was saying George Floyd was begging for his mama. I think
Yeah,
that
that's
did something to my spirit when I saw that because I
yeah,
knew that man was dying at that point. He
yeah,
was asking for his mama.
yeah,
And that's what people do when they're in trouble. They
yeah,
say,
yeah,
Mama, help me. And he
yeah.
was saying that because he couldn't breathe.
It was so sad.
And
Oh,
we were able to see him go to jail. Maybe he didn't get the time we thought he needed to
mhm.
get, but
Yeah,
I'm glad he went to jail at least because that's
yeah,
sending a message that our lives matter. You
Yes, it
can't go
does.
around killing us. And this is not the 50s. And you're not going to
Mm-mm.
get away with that. Those people got away with Emmett Till. You're going to go to
Yeah,
jail now if
that's
you
right.
hurt
That's right.
someone of color. So
That's
anyone
right.
of color that gets hurt, I
Mm.
have an issue with that. And
Yeah.
I think that that's
Hallelujah.
what resonated taking it back,
Yeah.
because we need
Yeah.
to take back not only our authority and power as
Hmm.
minorities, but as believers,
Yeah,
because we have
absolutely.
power as believers, and then taking back our air so we could breathe and go
Yeah.
outside again. So
Yeah.
I really believe that that's what it was about, because we were being lied to about the pandemic,
Yeah.
lied to about police brutality. And
All
if you listen
that.
to the song, I was saying, I get sick and tired of the lying, so sick
Ah,
of all the crying.
I see.
I said that in the lyrics,
Yeah.
asking myself why,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, because that's
Hmm.
what we do when we see all these murders and all this senseless
Acts.
lies about
Yeah.
the
Violence.
disease, about COVID, because we were lied to. They knew about COVID way before now, way
Yeah.
before
Oh, absolutely.
2018 and 19. They knew about it. So we
Yes.
were set up. And I
Yeah.
think that,
I believe
you
so.
know, it was a population control thing. I do.
Yeah.
I still believe that in my heart, that it was
Yeah.
a population control move
Hmm.
that was done. And
Yeah.
it's sad.
It is very, it's sad politics have come to this, how
Yeah,
politics have come to this. We saw it in
right.
full bloom in 2020, what it actually came to, because it didn't just happen all of a sudden like that. Yeah, like you said,
No,
they already knew
it was
about it.
ugly
It
and it
just,
was
yeah,
planned. And,
yeah, yeah,
and it makes me sad that that happened, because
yeah,
our lives is so much more, worth so much more. But we
yeah,
have a lot of mixed people that are being born. We have a lot of minorities that have, migrated to Los Angeles and have
hmm,
come to America.
yeah,
And some people are still
yeah,
prejudiced, like they were prejudiced in the 40s and 30s and 50s and
yeah,
60s. And
yeah,
I believe they were trying to really erase people's existence and,
yeah,
do a population control. I really believe that in my heart.
yeah,
I do.
absolutely,
And we
absolutely.
got to take our power back, and we got to dig so we know the knowledge and
Hmm.
know what's really going on, and,
Hmm.
and lift those blinders that they try to put on our eyes.
Yeah, that's deep.
So
That's a
yeah,
deep song. That's a deep
yeah,
song. And
yeah,
when
and
people
because
hear,
that's what it's really about. It's
yeah,
about that.
because
And
that's
most
about
people
that.
thought,
Oh,
who were you mad at, Lettrice? I said, "It's mad at the government,
that,
mad at the
yeah,
police force, mad
yeah,
mad at how people try to silence people of color." And I
yeah,
said, so we have to take our power back.
yeah,
Latinos and Black people need to unite, and
mm,
we need to fight together so that we
yeah,
can get respect globally,
yeah, yeah.
because
It's a
that's what the
unity song.
issue
It's
really
a
is.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's great.
Yes.
You have a new song out that you released recently and called My Secret Lies. What was the inspiration for My Secret Lies?
My husband,
I'm all ears.
because he knows um all my secret parts. And it's, people think it's just a sexual thing when people are married, but
No.
married people know each other's heart, and they know they can feel each other. They can feel when they get sick. They can
Yeah.
feel when they're depressed. They can
Okay.
sense
True.
each other's spirits. You have a
Hmm.
kindred spirit with one another.
Yeah.
And so when I say my secret lies, he knows where all my secrets lie. He knows my hiddenness. He knows all the hidden places. And at
Yeah.
the end of the song, it says, "You possess the key,
Uh,
unlock the inner me." And
wow.
everybody
Yeah.
wanted to they wanted
What's
to be, nasty. Everything is not.
it
I'm more
wasn't
of a
about it wasn't
mentor.
about being provocative, right?
Yeah, I mean, some of it was, but it's more of me saying that I have this connection to this man, and he can
Ah,
unlock the key to my heart, and
wow.
pretty much knows the depths of me,
Yeah.
and it releases me, and I feel free when he does it. That's what it really was about. And when, you know, and other people was like, yeah, Lettrice, I had to have some water when I heard that song.
It was pretty steamy, you know. So I'm glad we got that cleared up. But you know, people always interpret what they want to about music, you know,
Yes,
songs, movies, you know,
yes,
it they take things that speaks to them. But I'm glad
yes,
that we have you here so that you can explain where your heart was when you wrote the song, when you sang the song. By the way, who wrote the
yes.
song? You wrote the song?
I wrote the song, and we had to rewrite the song because Andre said, there's a little bit much. So I had to re-edit it. And so
Okay.
me and my producers both re-edited the words. But
Okay.
originally I wrote the song by myself. I'm gonna take full blame for it. And then we re-edited the song. And
Yeah.
Brandon Ford produced the song himself.
Oh,
And we thought that it was really wonderful. And it was his baby. And
yeah.
he nurtured it. And, you know, he did a very good job. He's a very good producer. And so is Devin Shaw. I
They
enjoy
did.
working with them. They're
They
my
did a
brothers. They
wonderful
make me laugh.
job.
they're my they're my road dogs in life. I mean, you know, it's wonderful when you can be friends with your producers too.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so they're
Get
my
that bond.
family too, and I
Mhm,
love them. And I'm grateful for the advice because sometimes you need an outside person to
mhm.
say, bring it back in,
Yeah.
bring it back in. That's a little too spicy. Put some more water in that dish. Take
Yes.
some of that spice out of there.
Yeah, a little bit too concentrated, huh? You have to put a little water in it.
So that's Audrey Pittman. So I respect him for that, and you know, and I'm glad
That's
because
sweet.
it's better because of that advice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People don't know that you also act as well, and you've been acting for a while.
yeah.
Uh,
Since I was a little kid, I've been acting in plays and acting
uh-huh.
in Christmas in the Eyes of a Child. I did that for years at
Yeah.
the Wilshire Ebell Theater when I was like 8 to
Uh-huh.
11. And so I went on to act at plays at church and different
Yeah.
things. And, you know, and I was going to work with James St. Ivory. And I became ill, so I wasn't able to do it. But he did as their preacher in the house and all these
Yeah.
wonderful, you know, things. And it was
Yeah.
just great. I really loved him. And I really loved working, you know, behind the scenes and doing acting things. It's fun. I
Yeah.
worked
You did
with
some. Go ahead.
Spencer Collins. Yeah, I worked with
Oh,
Spencer Collins, and he
uh-huh.
had an NAACP nominated play called
Yeah.
Can God Love Too? And Angie Fisher was supposed to be the mother, and I
Mhm.
took her role.
Oh,
Angie
okay.
Fisher is the Grammy award winning singer that sang IRS, that song IRS. So I took her place and
Mhm.
I did the acting and singing as the mother. And it was a really good experience. And Tyrone Dubois from Unsung, he's
Yeah.
the R&B historian.
Yeah.
He played my on screen husband.
He
And so
did.
yeah,
Wow. 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 I would like to see that. I would like to see that.
yeah.
I missed
And
that one.
so we have the footage. So we're definitely, I'll make that happen for you.
Oh,
I'll make that
great.
happen. And
So
I was really excited about that. So that was great. It turned out great. We had sold out shows. And, you know,
mhm.
Spencer Collins is the one who was behind that movie, Velvet Jesus. It
Mhm.
was first a play. At first it
Yeah.
was a play with Ernest Harden. It was a play. And then it did so well that it was turned into a movie. So I'm so
Velvet
proud of him.
Jesus.
Yes,
Wow.
Velvet Jesus. You got to see that.
Wow. I
So
gotta
I'm
check
really
that one
proud
out.
of my friend Spencer. He's
Yeah.
so talented, and I'm so glad I got a chance to work with him, and I can't wait to work with him again. And I'm
Yeah.
excited because I am with I'm with DeAndre Little. He's the director
Yeah.
of this series, and it's called Kim and Nisi. It's a spinoff of the Parkers and Moesha, and Shar Jackson and Countess Vaughn is going to be in it. And Melba Moore is going to be in it too. So
Wow,
I'm
that
excited.
is
Yeah, she's a
amazing. I want to
legend.
say congratulations
Thank
to
you.
you. So the
Thank
name
you.
of the show is Kim and Nisi. It's a series and a
Yes.
spinoff of the Parkers.
And it's going to be on Tubi.
Uh-huh.
And we're praying that it's going to be picked up by
Oh,
BET.
of
I
course. I'm
told
in
my
agreement.
brother, claim it,
Yeah.
because,
Claim it. Yeah.
I know that I know that Tyler Perry's going to love it, because it's going to be
Yeah.
about Black women in a positive light, where
Yeah.
we own businesses and we're friends together. And like me, I'm going to be from the South, and I'm coming back to LA to do a
Hmm.
business with my friends,
Okay.
have children, and then I'm remarrying
Uh-huh.
someone. And so that's all a part of the show. And, and so I can't wait to do that. It's going to be great.
That
It's
is.
going to be great.
That sounds really exciting. How did
Excited.
that role come about for you? And
You you
this
know,
is
you
amazing.
never know when people are watching you.
There you go.
It's crazy. My
Yeah.
friend had been watching me for years, watching me perform, watching stuff,
Uh-huh.
watching my interviews, watching me online. And he said, she'd be perfect for this Julia role. And I said, I just have to thank you for looking out for me.
Wow.
So many people don't do that
That's
enough.
so true. That
And
is
he's with
so
the
true.
Brock agency, and SAG is involved. So I'm going to get proper pay daily when I'm on the Sunset Gower
Yeah.
studio
Oh,
stages. And so I'm so excited, because it's all being done so professionally and so
yeah.
wonderful.
That
And I
is
know right now we're going through a screen, this whole screenwriter,
guild.
strike and stuff right now.
Yeah.
But since this has already been done, I
Yeah.
get to record, we get to go on and record and get everything ready. So
Okay.
when it's
Okay.
time for it to be released, we can
Mhm.
tell everyone,
That
but
is amazing.
you know, I think it's really exciting. I'm excited
That is
about it.
exciting.
Mhm.
Congratulations on that. I can't
Thank
wait to see you,
you.
girl. I can't
Okay,
wait to
I'm so
watch it.
excited. So
Yeah.
excited, just so excited to be a woman of color, and to be a
Hmm.
full figure woman, and be able
Yeah.
to represent, you know what I mean? Because
Representing.
we need to
Yeah.
have more of that. We need to have more
Yeah.
positive images in that
Yeah.
way. We do.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I want to do this thing that I do with some of my guests. I call it toss a year. So I toss a year to you, and you
Uh-huh.
tell me what you remembered or what you were doing in that year. So
Okay.
yeah, we're going to start with 1977.
Oh, wow. Ooh, 1977. 1977. I was 6. So I was in
You were
kindergarten.
6 in kindergarten.
I think I had just, yeah, I think I had just the summertime. I
Yeah,
want to say
you were
springtime.
outside playing.
And so I
Okay.
remember being in my strawberry patch,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
I was singing things like, I don't know. I was singing Minnie Riperton stuff. I was singing,
Yeah.
I think I was more or less singing, I think I was singing Denise Williams, because Denise Williams was first. So
Yeah.
I think I was doing that. And then my dad would play Gladys. Then
Yeah.
he'd play Stevie. So
Yeah.
I'd be outside.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was like,
okay.
oh, wait. I was listening to the music,
Yeah.
and I was outside. And I
Yeah.
think that's that was the best time of my life, in that backyard on 405 Dublin Avenue. It
Oh,
was just the best time of my life. I felt like I was in a forest.
do you ever go back there and see how
Oh,
small the
sis, it
house
makes me want
was?
to cry. It makes me want to cry.
You do?
So he
Oh.
just sold the house in 2021. So I
Oh, oh,
passed by it, and they're redoing it from the ground up. So
oh,
I
wow.
passed by it sneaking. I'm nosy. But
Yeah.
when they finish, I'm going to ask, can I go in the backyard? Because
Yeah.
that's where all the
That's,
magic happened.
oh, wow.
And, it was hard for us to sell the house. And
Mm-hmm.
I still want to cry when
Yeah.
I think about it, because we grew up in that house. I was brought home to that home in a blanket, so that's the
Mm-hmm.
only home, I knew. I mean, of course
Yeah.
I moved places, and I have a condo now, and it's home to me.
Yeah.
But that was really home to me, that place. So,
Do
you
you have
know,
any kids, Latrice? Do you have any children?
I have a spiritual child. My
Okay.
brother's daughter, she's 33 and she has the 9-year-old, and that's our godchild.
Oh, how
And
wonderful.
my baby,
How
I helped
wonderful.
with her. I helped raise her, and I was a part of my other nieces and nephews' life. So I'm happy about that. But
Yeah.
my other babies, it's 5 of them. They're
Yeah.
in heaven. So I'm going to
Oh,
be having a
you're gonna have a
heavenly
reunion.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, you will. You will.
So when I go to glory, I'll be able to see them again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
1999.
Yes.
What were you doing in 1999?
1999. That sound like Prince. He was one of my favorites.
Mine too. Oh my goodness.
1999. Let's see. 1999. Oh, wait. I was dating a really crazy man. I'm gonna tell you right now. He was the rapper. He was a little streetwise, and that was the only time I've ever dated someone like that in my life. But my parents were petrified because they were like, "Why would she try to rebel now at 28?" So I was offered a deal, a recording deal
Okay.
with him because I
Oh, I
sang on
see.
this song with him, and they were
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, we're gonna make him a duo." Didn't work out because he had a bad attitude,
Yeah.
and I was dealing with some things too at the time. And I had a horrible car accident, and I walked
Ah,
away from it and I was okay. That was the blessing. I walked
that
away
is
from it and I was all
that's
right.
it's a
And
miracle.
I thank God for that
Yeah, of
because
course.
no
Wow.
no issues at all, none whatsoever.
That is
And
mm, mm, mm.
and I the next year I got a gig through an agent, and that's when I sang at the Timeless tour with Barbara Streisand. So everything happens for a reason. You
Wow.
doors close and then other doors
That's-
open.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so I was able to sing backgrounds. I met so many people, and I looked out in the audience, and it was Elizabeth Taylor,
Wow.
Jack Nicholson,
Yeah.
648. But who really
Wow.
shocked me was John Travolta, and his wife came backstage.
Wow.
He walked over to me and he's like, "Hi, I'm
Wow.
John." I said, "I know who you are." And I said, "I've had a crush on you." He says, "I was a little girl." And he started laughing,
Oh my God, that's
hugged me.
amazing.
Oh, yeah, he hugged me. Him and his wife hugged me. They were sweethearts. And
Sweet.
he was like, "You just
Sweet.
have the most beautiful teeth and the most, oh my God, and beautiful smile." And I said, "You're one to talk." And he started laughing.
Oh
So he
wow.
was just an amazing guy. And him and
Yeah.
Barbara are good friends. And I'm
Yeah.
really glad I was able to meet his wife because now
Yeah.
she's, no longer with us.
Yeah.
But her spirit, it's just some people just really, you never forget. She just
Yeah.
had this light coming from her. And
Wow.
I'm just happy I was able to meet her because she was a
Mhm.
beautiful person. So was he.
That's a
So
beautiful thing.
yeah,
That's a
yes.
beautiful thing. I
Yeah.
just want to say you are such an inspiration, and I
Thank
pray
you.
that our audience will get a lot from this. This has been a very inspiring interview. And
Thank you. I'm so
yeah.
glad. I'm so
So
glad.
yeah, of course.
Yes.
Tell us where your website and all that good stuff. I know you're on all social media. And
Yes.
but what is your
Yes.
website?
It's www.lettricelawrence.com.
Mm-hmm.
LETTRICE You can actually download music from my page. I have like sites that you can click on. You can click on Amazon, Apple. Um, I think I
Yeah,
even have Title and all these other things too. The streaming sites,
yeah,
Spotify. So you can
beautiful.
stream me,
Mm-hmm.
or you can don't download my music. Now it seemed like they're making it so hard to download music. So I told people to go right to my page,
Yeah,
click on the Amazon or click on the Apple,
yeah,
the button, and they'll be able to go directly to my music and buy my music right there. So that's the good thing about that. You
that
can
is
it's right there in front of you. And
awesome.
so and then you'll get updates about what I'm going to be doing,
Yeah,
throughout the year, and different things that come up. Okay. I think that that's such a
yeah,
great thing. The
It is.
technology.
It is. Technology is awesome, isn't it? I tell you, our time is spent. Thank you so much, Lettrice. You have
Oh, I'm
been such a
honored.
blessing and an inspiration. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really happy you asked me to come. I've been wanting to come back and see you. And I'm so happy that you told Andre and you invited me on. And I
Yeah,
appreciate you so much. And God
of,
bless you.
of
And
course.
shout out to him and shout out to my producers and shout out to my fans. I love you guys. And thank you so much again, Cindy.